There was a golden time in the United States of America in the food scene when the words farm to table actually meant something. Man, we turned that word into like a piñata at a 4-year-old birthday party hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah, just ran it through the meat grinder. Fully. Or we reverse Orwellian'd it. Just sucked all its meaning out, injected it with a new one, and then flipped it on its head.
If you made a corporate potato chip in the last 15 years, you'd this is farm to table. There's a farm somewhere, and I know that these potatoes didn't grow in my apartment complex.
You're going to eat it on a table, most likely. So, ergo.
I mean, that was great. It was just a free-for-all. It wasn't great. And the reason was, it used to actually mean something. So back in the day, I think this was late 90s, early 2000s. Obviously, farm to table is an ancient thing. You used to grow it in your backyard. Restaurants started by, I grew something in the backyard.
It used to be de facto, so that's why we didn't even have a name for it. It was just the way things worked.
Right. And then the Industrial Revolution happened, and then our supply chains developed. We're like, oh my God, we can get spinach anytime, anywhere. We can put it in a can. We can put it in a plastic. We can just, just get all this food all across the United States. Doesn't matter when it's supposed to grow.
Fuck a season.
Fuck the seasons. And so anyways, it went through a dark time, and then it started to really come back, in the modern times. It was really Wolfgang Puck, Alice Waters, and whatever. It hit San Diego late 90s. And back then there was only a few different chefs that were actually doing farm to table. There was 6 or 7 or 10. There was Jeff Jackson. There was a guy that we're going to have on the podcast today who basically he started under Michael Mina, and then he went to Bradley Ogden, who's a celebrity chef in the 90s, early 2000s. That's where he fell in love with actually cooking in season. Because what do you know? Getting something that just got pulled out of the ground and doesn't wait a week and goes on a train or goes anywhere else actually tastes better. I mean, sure, you can put some philosophy in there. You're like, well, it also helps local farm, and that is all good stuff. It helps farm workers. It helps the economy. It helps everything else. That's great. But if you're just being selfishly diabolical about it, you're like, it fucking tastes better.
It's just better. And it has more nutrients.
Because nutrients degrade as soon as you pick it out of the ground. Carl Schroeder is on the podcast today. He built Market Restaurant and Bar, 3 times James Beard Award nominee. He has announced that he is leaving. He's sold his shares. He is leaving. He's going to float around a pool for an unguided period of time.
Good for him.
Yes,
he
that man.
It.
I don't think that man has seen a pool. He is a spear fisherman. So he has seen the big pool, but I don't think he's actually relaxed in 20 years.
Definitely.
And now we're giving him his exit interview. We're giving him, a look back, the good times, the bad times, the hard times, and kind of a celebration, a toast to be like, hey, new chapter. You built something. You made something amazing. It is Festival Week. And this is the last, I swear to God, this is the last you're going to hear of Del Mar Wine and Food Festival until the next time you hear about Del Mar Wine and Food Festival, which will be in about 8 months. It's Festival Week. Oh, man. I am a mix of cortisol. I smell vaguely of dino nuggets. They haven't actually penetrated my body yet. I don't eat those things, but my son does. And of course, this morning, big festival week. I have 9 dinners that I got to go to this week. I got to MC about 5 or 6 of them. It is going to be. I'm gonna have to party like I'm 25 years old.
He does this for you.
I do this for you. But I'm walking down the stairs. What happens when you have a big week? Something fucks up.
You fall down the stairs.
I didn't fall down the stairs, which is a plus.
Sorry, I am one of those horrific, terrible people who watches people falling videos. I just think it's so funny.
I knew you were messed up.
I'm a bad person.
But every day I get a new layer of messed up. This is so... Messed up in the most glorious, beautiful way, though. I mean, I would say... So I'm walking down the stairs, I'm cleaning my glasses because I have the greasiest face known to man. I have Exxon Val face.
Ooh, me too.
When you want to show how strong dish soap is, you either go to an oil spill and clean off wild marine animals, or you go on my face. You know what I mean? I have that. It's that bad. So I always have to clean my glasses. And I'm cleaning my glasses. What happens? The arm snaps off.
Which, not gonna lie, I think the last time I saw you or one of the last times we recorded 2 or 3 weeks ago, I pointed it out and I was like, dude,
that's gonna break.
You're living on the edge here.
And I was living on the edge and it popped off. Luckily, they got a nice eyeglass store and I went there and I got it fixed. Del Mar Wine and Food This is the last time this is going to be airing Thursday. We will have already had our sold out opening nights. The Baja dinner with Javier Plasencia is sold out. The things that that you can still go to are pickleball. Celebrity pickleball at Barnes Tennis Center. There's going to be Drew Brees, Mark Loretta from the Padres, Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm going to be playing a recovered one
Get it?
time
Celebrity pickleball.
Celebrities real scant on that description. That's on Friday during the day. Jet Tilo will be there. Richard Blaze will be there. A bunch of our friends. And then Saturday, the grand tasting. Saturday and Sunday, the grand tasting. This is the big show. 100 chefs, all the Food Network friends on the lawn. A massive cookout. A perfect lawn by the sea. It's just, I mean, honestly, it's magic. I've done a lot of things and I've done a lot of events, and not every one of them I would tell you that was totally magic, but this one is definitely magic. It's that grass, it's that sea breeze, it's the fact that you have plenty of space to like get one of the best dishes in San Diego and go find a stretch of grass and just chill and drink wine with it.
I am voluntarily going, and I don't go to anything. I am such a lame-o, and I just like love being at home, and I'm going. I always
love the kind of events that this is.
I'm going.
I mean, honestly, I'm like, it's overwhelming. I'd like to just go out to dinner, but this one's great. Anyways, go to delmar.wine for tickets. Promo code is
SDMAG15.
SDMAG15 to get 15% off. And then I am done talking about this. Thank you guys so much for showing up, for listening to me blab on and on about it. This is Happy Half Hour. I'm Troy Johnson, Jackie Bryant. We are telling you everything that's going on in the food scene this week. Not every single thing, but pretty much.
Like a lot of it.
I think
this
a
week.
lot of it.
And then next week.
A decent chunk of it.
Oh, dear. Look at that plastic bag floating through the sky.
Oh, yeah. That's fun. We're on the 8th floor of the San Diego Magazine offices in
an
an office building downtown.
Times.
And the American Beauty with Kevin Spacey is happening outside of our window. This is great. Anyways, news. Jackie, go.
Origins Grocer is expanding to South Park. So it's the zero waste refillery that opened last year in North Park on 2855 El Cajon. And it's launching its second location on September 12th at 2361 30th in South Park. The founder, Maria Herrera, stocks around 1,000 low or no packaging, packaging. So, like the actual packaging on the products. Ramona eggs, local coffee, spices, grain, herbs, and beauty products. So it's kind of like buying in bulk. And then sometimes you could even just buy a little. You just don't have any of the packaging as part of it. You bring your own. The South Park space will add bistro tables, refrigerated goods, and a community table for workshops and dinners. And the opening coincides with the Taste of South Park, which is happening on September 13th. So a lot of stuff happening down there, a lot of community.
So now I love this movement in food of getting rid of packaging, period.
I love it.
The only thing is, okay,
out.
now here's the hard part. And then I guess it really puts the onus of promoting good food to our kids on us. Because what I will say
oh my God,
is that
such a good point.
You think about the cuties. Think about mandarins being branded as cuties. All of a sudden, my kid wanted to eat a cutie. He has this little...
Fair. Okay.
You think about... This is the reason why sugar cereals dominated in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and whatnot. You put a cartoon character on a box of this sugary...
And they're doing it today. You cannot swing a cat without hitting a kid's product that has the Bluey license on it.
Right.
Yeah. Like 100%.
We go into a grocery store and Jasper sees, a Spider-Man on top of a bottle of juice. All it is a twist-off cap with Spider-Man's head on it, and that's what the one he wants. Okay, so
this is
I know,
really good point.
I know. So marketing food is a way that you get kids to be interested in food that they may not be otherwise interested in, right?
That's true.
But then again, it's also the way that you get them to eat some bullshit in a box,
right? And I will say, because my son, the preschool that he's at has like a garden program that's very cool, and I was watching the kids interact with it. Like, here's the wholesome answer to that: if we gave every kid access to a garden, and just got them like in the dirt and looking like where these plants come from, because we garden a little bit in our backyard, like not enough to do anything, but like like it dawned on me when my son walked up and picked a tomato off and just like bit into it. And I saw it at the school the other day. Like these kids who won't eat anything. And like some of them I know to be really, really picky eaters. They saw like a pea pod on the plant and then they would just pick it up and then eat it and then make that. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was just light bulb for a billion reasons. So maybe this is the answer.
Unboxing.
Yeah.
Picking a piece of fruit off a tree was the original unboxing.
Exactly. So like maybe this is the answer. We can take away Spider-Man. And we can give everyone a garden? I don't know. It sounds really nice.
Well, let's just go full totalitarianism here and just make sure that mandate it governmentally that you have to have a garden. You have to grow at least one edible vegetable per year or you get kicked out of the United States. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, right?
We got to force people. You need to incentivize.
To force people into growing wholesome, nutritious food and passing it down each generation. But in the meantime, go to Origins. I love this idea, actually.
Cool.
It is cool because, you think about, like, there's a restaurant up, and we talk about them all the time, The Plot up in Oceanside. They actually talked to their farmers and said, look, don't bring it in boxes. Please don't bring it in plastic, your cauliflower. We don't need it. We don't want it.
Yeah.
So just bring me armfuls of cauliflower.
And it's in the spirit of the bulk section at People's, which is, it's sort of like the OG of this style of shopping, right? But it's, I don't go to People's very much anymore because I live on the opposite side of town now. So this is a little more accessible to me. Yeah. So I love that there are more places like this popping up around the county.
Exactly. All right. What's next?
It's Oktoberfest season. I know. You're like, it's September, but actually that's when it really happens. So it does kick off this month. The first up is Crafttoberfest at Liberty Public Market, which is running September 19th to 28th with rotating brewery specials, live music, games, and German food. There are more celebrations, including El Cajon Oktoberfest in late September and the yodeling contest at the original 40 Brewing in North Park. La Mesa Oktoberfest also takes place in Oktoberfest.
This is total bullshit, by the way.
No, it's it's my favorite thing in
Holidays
San Diego.
Are like my mom.
Love Oktoberfest. Like there is like an Oktoberfest thing. Obviously, it's an excuse to drink beer. The La Mesa one, I have a specific mental connection and bone to pick with because
but that's the epic one. Though.
That's the epic one. It's great. I don't mean to denigrate it. It's great, but it's the one that has the wiener dog races, and I have a wiener dog, and I got like harassed, like not like real harassed, but like competitor harassed, like heckled because like my dog doesn't listen and wasn't a competitor and hadn't been training all year, and they're like really serious about it. So
you got heckled by a wiener dog aficionado racer?
Actually, like several. One of them was like, you should like cut your dog's nails more, and to another one, I like joked. I was like, oh, my dog like. He's not going to listen. Like, he's not going to run. And they just, like, literally looked at me and, like,
no wiener
away.
Dog in the history of wiener dogs has ever listened to anything.
No, I know.
Yeah, I don't care how
ones, they train for it all year long, I learned. It's like a whole thing, and I am not in it. So,
okay. I want to bring something else up. I want to bring something else up that, holidays now are like my mom. They show up way too early. You know what I mean? They show up. I'm like, this is bullshit. It's not October. You should not be able to throw an Oktoberfest celebration until October 1st. I mean, I get what's happening. One dick was like, you know what? I'm going to throw one on September 30th. I'm going to throw one September 30th just to beat everybody else to their Oktoberfest. And then somebody else was like, you know what? I'm going September 29th. You know what? I'm going September 28th.
Well... It may start in September in Germany. The internet tells me it starts on September 20th, but it ends.
Well, then it's about dicks in Germany. It doesn't matter.
But actually, this is true in general because I was just on Instagram before I came in here and I noticed that a friend of mine posted that she started decorating for Halloween yesterday. And she did note the date. She said, I know it's September 7th, but... I just like why? Like why? I don't know. It stresses me out.
I do not want same day shipping of my holidays. You know what I mean? I want them to come when the holiday is supposed to come.
Yes.
I want them within a couple of weeks so that my joy is intensified.
Yes.
And I don't feel like this long tail of economic pressure and designer pressure. I got to get my pumpkins up. I went down to the Plunge this weekend, and no offense against Belmont Park, but a little bit of offense against Belmont Park. Ooh. They had all the pumpkins out. I'm like,
no, it's too much.
It's September 10th.
And I agree, it dilutes. There are studies that say that the satisfaction and joy that people get from traveling going actually is mostly in the planning and the anticipation phase of doing it.
Mine is gas stations.
I think. Oh,
I like gas stations in other countries.
love it. I love all of it. I love.
They always have like. There's a weird.
I actually love airports.
You do love airports.
I love airports. I love seeing the departure and arrivals and just like imagining all of like the people and places and stores. Oh
I
my
love
God.
the gas stations that you walk into and they have something completely would never expect. There's like
I love that.
There's like a rack of shoes. You know what I mean? They're
I
like,
love that. Or
this
in the
gas
Central
station
Valley.
decided to sell shoes, or this gas station is a farmer's market. Or
Yeah.
this gas station.
The one in Central Valley, they have like some of the best Indian food you could possibly ever imagine.
Yeah. I've had some of the best Indian food on the road through the Midwest at a gas station. Okay. Anyways,
Anywho.
Oktoberfest. Go ahead.
All right, we've got some quick more things. Pepino is having a pop-up. It's a seafood restaurant that's coming to La Jolla, and it's going to host.
whatever. I think
Sorry
it was
about
mine,
that.
too.
I just totally flubbed myself. Pepino is a forthcoming seafood restaurant in La Jolla, and it will host a brunch takeover at Le Coq on September 6th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be a sneak peek of the menu, and it's first come, first served.
We did talk about this. That I actually texted Tara Monsood and said, "How's the new menu going?" And she's like, I love it. You know, it's her. So Le Coq has switched its menu to do more of like the Asian influence that Tara grew up with, and is executing at Anime, which I think is a great call. Anyways, go ahead.
So there's some stuff new and coming soon. Johnny Rad's Pizza from pro skater Mike McGill is opening in Encinitas.
Nice.
Taco Cell Franc, the famous TJ Taqueria, is opening its second San Diego location in the Gas Lamp later this month. Round One Bowling and Arcade is adding locations in Escondido and Mission Valley, which is interesting that like all these fancy bowling places are popping up, but all the old school ones are closing. I mean,
Did you grow up bowling?
I did. So actually, this is the craziest thing. I went to a huge Catholic high school on Long Island that had like
leagues?
several, like 700 to 1,000 kids in each grade. So it was a very big school. And yeah, senior year, instead of PE, they put everybody into a local bowling alley. And
Did they give them a pack of smokes?
no, so it was the funniest thing. So we had 8-day schedule cycles. So every day there were just crowds we all had uniforms, Catholic school kids at the local bowling alley. And like, obviously we smoked weed before going, right? So like my whole senior year, we were all just like hotboxing our cars on the way to the bowling alley, showing up, and we were in a real deal bowling league, and that was our gym grade for senior year. So long story short, yeah, I definitely bowled growing up. And then it was amazing because like 700 to 1,000 sick ass bowlers graduated every single year, which is like insane. If you think about the
your high school
butterfly
was
effect from that.
the high school was basically the Culinary Institute of bowling.
No, like literally, it's the funny.
Yeah.
It's the funniest fact ever. So yes, I am familiar with the bowling arts.
Yeah, my dad raised me going bowling when in Poway, and so I grew up.
Yeah,
that
we
was
did a lot.
That was what we did. A single dad, I mean, basically divorced dad, would come pick me up. We'd go bowling, bowling or play tennis. And so by the time I hit college, I actually had like a 160 average. Bowling. I was very, very good at bowling.
Yeah, I'm like pretty fucking decent. Not gonna lie.
I hadn't learned how to like pick up smoking yet, or I hadn't developed any of the accoutrements of the bowling life.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There are many.
But I loved bowling, and I think it is. I think it's ready for its glow up. I think it's ready for its a return to American glory.
I love it. It's physical. It requires other people. It's like literally
I
everything.
love that you called bowling physical.
I mean, it's physical, and it's in the age of technology.
What's physical is Atari.
That's
like
a really good point. No, that's actually a really good point because like it's made fun of in like the lexicon of sports, but like in this modern digital age, it's like, oh my God, you're not horizontal. Yay! Congratulations. That's what I meant.
You
so
are
depressing.
not couch bound. Yeah,
it's really
you are
depressing.
casually walking towards a lane 3 feet.
It requires other people.
And swinging an arm. And then doing a knee dip if you're getting fancy.
It's physical.
Yeah. Anyways, bowling to rejuvenate the health of the modern America. We're all behind it.
I'm super here for it.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a place known for Japanese cream puffs that doesn't. The name of it doesn't sound like that's what this is, but it's called Beard Papas.
Beard Papas.
Beard Papas. To me, it just sounds like something else. Whatever. They're known for Japanese cream puffs, which rules. They're coming soon to Convoy. Con Azúcar Café just opened September 1st at 531 F Street in the Gas Lamp. And SDM contributor and local writer Mara Altman has a new book. She's known for writing about body hair and nuclear boob reactors.
She's so badass.
She's the best. she's
Mara
the best.
Altman is one of our favorite human beings.
Absolutely the best.
She's got a new little cookbook, right?
Yeah.
Not little cookbook.
It's called That's Not Food, and it's coming out October 13th, and you can pre-order on the internet now. Again, her name is Mara Altman.
That's Not Food. Pre-order it. Come on, help a San Diego-based writer who has been in our pages and done some of the funniest, coolest, fun, just interesting work that we've done in the last year and a half. She did a great piece about how the San Onofre power reactors look like boobs, and obviously we've all called them the Dolly Parton Monument for decades, but she did it in a way that was so funny.
She's the best, and she's a native San Diegan, comes from a longtime local family who sell plants and other agaves, Altman plants. So yeah, support a good local initiative.
That's it. That's your news. You can check San Diego Magazine.com for SD Food News. Beth Denman, our food news writer, she keeps a fantastic running ticker of everything that's happening in the food scene there, and then we freely steal from it for this podcast.
Oh yes, big time.
Big time.
Every week.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jackie, for the news. And now let's bring in, this guy's one of my favorite people in San Diego. One of the most intense people you'll ever find in a kitchen. And now he's leaving a massive, beautiful dent in San Diego's food culture. Carl Schroeder coming up next. Okay, so our guest today, one of my favorite chefs in the city. I'm not afraid to say it. He's one of the best in the country. I've really only eaten it at his place, 10, 12 times, I guess. It's been a few times over the years. But I remember the first time that I tried it, it was that goddamn braised short rib. I was like, oh my God, this is something I haven't had before. This is just in it. I don't think you ever could take it off the menu. And then I went back about 7 years later, and it was really, a lot had happened. And, I'm as one person, I have to try out everything. So it's hard for me to get back to a restaurant, to be quite honest with you. And I went back, and I hadn't been here in a long time. And I went and I sat down, and we had a meal together, and I was doing the 3 best things to eat in San Diego before you die. And we had that meal again. I was like, God damn, you are.
So you came in and no one was supposed to know you had your little hat on and all your stuff. I remember exactly where you were sitting.
Those days are long gone.
And I know it's too late.
When Troy's in a room, you know it.
I know. No, I definitely. So he
shut the hell up.
Kind of bent over in the corner with his little hat on. And my manager at the time goes, luckily we had that manager because probably would have got missed. And she's like, I think Troy Johnson's out there on table 83. And I'm like, no, you gotta be fucking me. I haven't seen him.
Killed to experience
and
this.
I look out there and I'm like, is that Troy? I don't know.
He's got that little page boy hat on.
And then I just walked right over to the table. I'm like, Troy? He looked up, pulled his hat up.
That's really how it went down.
There he is. Sneak in on me.
So and lo and behold, it was again one of the best fucking meals I've had in San Diego. I mean, every single time. Okay, so San Diego, one of the first restaurants back in the day, one of the hottest restaurants in San Diego was in a damn Marriott.
Yeah,
right.
Crazy, right?
Arterra in Del Mar.
There were people that wouldn't, like diners that would not come in there just because it was in a Marriott.
I know, and it was
a lot of people.
I believe that. Yeah. I might have been one of them. I wasn't. This is before my time.
And to back it up a little bit, okay, so you started with Michael Mina, was the first big thing out of culinary school that you started your career, and then you went and worked with Bradley Ogden at Lark Creek. Right. At Lark Creek, and that's where you fell in love with farm to table and really cooking seasonal and things that are absolutely at peak season from a good local grower and everything else. Right. Just because it fucking tastes better. We talked about this earlier in the show, and then Arterra, you opened Arterra in the damn Marriott in Del Mar with Bradley Ogden. You helped him open it, right? And that became...
Well, it was funny because they hired me before they paired up with Bradley Ogden. And so we had this whole history of Lark Creek Inn, 5 years there. And, I was a sous chef up there, and we'd do events all over San Francisco and Dallas, all over the country, right?
Yeah.
So we had that. Then I came down here, back home, right? And I was working over at Mr. A's. I helped open Mr. A's with Bertrand.
I didn't realize that.
I was the executive sous of that opening crew.
No shit. With Bertrand and Stefan?
No, it was just Bertrand at the time.
Okay, got it.
Yep. It was going from Mr. A's to Bertrand at Mr. A's.
Yep.
So
that would have
just
been
bought it. There was a lot of excitement around it, and
1980, 90.
Yeah, sure, I'm great at dates.
I know. Well, okay. Well, then pause that, and then we'll get to Artera. But what was Mr. Ace like back then? What was the opening of that?
I mean, it was crazy because here we were coming in with like a more modern take on an old classic favorite, rack of lamb with mint jelly.
I was going to say, what does more modern mean at the time?
I don't even know what they're called. They go on the lamb racks and the little paper things.
Yeah.
We were going from that to, okay, we've been doing food in San Francisco. And we're bringing that in. So, whenever you do that, you got to stay true to the new vision and not look back at the old vision. Because if you do that and you start, and through marketing and stuff like that, you gain momentum for your new vision, right?
Yeah.
And everything needs to be fucking perfect.
Yep.
Right? That's the other thing. Because if people come in and it's not perfect, then, and at those prices and the whole hype built around it, then you're going to get slayed.
You will hear about it.
Yeah, you will. In the media and everything else. So, transitioning to that, there were some bumps in the road, obviously.
For sure.
But for the most part, it went pretty smoothly.
And it was, you guys really did do like San Francisco food. And that was a Bertrand, like bringing Bertrand is a real food person. He really gives a shit about.
And he's also like, he has a lot of influence on the menu. He loves his friend. He loves his childhood memories.
Sure. The foie gras. That his mom, he used to have ducks and geese. Sweetbreads.
And the whole thing. So kind of writing that line, and taking criticism and everything else was a little bit hard at first, but over time, I was there for, I think, a year and a half before I got the offer.
Okay.
At the Marriott.
I know.
That was a hell of a sale, though, because these guys approached me and they're like, hey, look, this is a Marriott, but we want to be a badass restaurant, and I don't care about food cost.
Yep.
That's what they told me.
There you go.
And this is coming from John Moore's people.
Right.
So I'm literally like, wait a second, let's talk. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, like maybe there's a way to hack this chain thing, right?
When you're talking no food costs and you're talking about lobster, cat, anything I want to do in a space, now we're talking.
Because you went, so Michael Mina, obviously, so you were probably, what, line cook?
I was, with Mina, I was an extern from the CIA, from Culinary Institute.
Extern, which anybody doesn't quite know the restaurant world, that should be an internship.
Yeah, so I was there I think I stayed for like 5 months or so.
Okay.
Long enough to understand when I went to San Francisco looking for an externship, I said, what's the hardest kitchen in San Francisco to work in?
And Mina's was it, huh?
10 people told me Aqua.
Okay,
and so it was really easy to pick Aqua.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see, like, am I built for this?
Sure.
And so I went in there with my little neckerchief on, everything the CIA told me to go with. Bring your book and bring your, your whole knife kit and bring your toque and all this stuff. I went in there and it was immediately like, what's this shit? Here, get rid of all this shit. Okay, where's your French knife? Okay.
Thank God, right?
Get downstairs and you're going to be doing this.
And that probably made you feel at home.
Oh, dude, it was scary.
No, it did not.
So I was living on the floor in my friend's house in Oakland, taking the bus to the BART in downtown Oakland, BART down into San Francisco, and then the long walk from that station down the alley into the back of this restaurant where everyone's a killer.
Yep.
And I'm green.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
And
you're the little sheep. There's a lot of wolves.
Like even now, still, like, look.
Mm-hmm. You can think about it.
Yeah, coming into that place, and you're in there with like the best. These guys would die for Michael at the time,
for sure.
Sure.
Michael Mina still is, but I mean, he was.
That was his new. He had just taken over.
It was his city at that point in time. I mean, just about, right?
It was his city, but George Marone had just left, and Michael had just taken over. You want to see a chef who's on his shit?
Mm-hmm.
Put him in that situation.
Right.
The top seafood restaurant in arguably, aside from Le Bernardin, probably the nation. Debatable, but and then with a new chef, Michael Mina.
Oh, the pressure,
name for himself.
Forget it.
Yeah, it was real, man. It was real.
Oh, there's not 1 billion pounds on your shoulders at that point in time.
No.
And this is back before, the great kitchen chef behavior reckoning. So kitchens were tough back then.
So I'll never throw anyone under the bus on that. That's the environment I lived in for many years.
For sure.
In the 90s. And, do I
just was what it was.
I like what's going on now better? Probably because it makes for, I would have thrived in either environment, I think. And so why throw that in there? I think I perform better in a confident environment.
But
however, I played 8 years of football before this, and I understood like the hierarchy. I understood like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And
I think anybody, so you've got a couple years on me, but not many. I think anybody who was kind of raised in the 80s generation, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, there was a like, hey, shut the fuck up, sit the fuck
100%.
down. I even like,
I was raised in that mentality still. I'm an older millennial. I still have like Gen X vibes. I remember the old days of you're just going to do it or you're not going to do it. And that's it.
I miss being put in my place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I miss the ability of somebody to be like, shut the up, and that's what my coaches would do. For tennis coaches would do that. They'd be like, nope, and I guess that was kind of the early on world of chefing too. It was, I heard it.
I gravitated towards it because I understood it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be part of something great and serious. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like shocking. However, like I didn't want to fail. Yeah. And when you feel like you're failing every day for 16 hours, that can like eat at your psyche a little bit, because I wasn't sure whether I was cut out for the business. So you came out of culinary school, you lived on somebody's floor, you're sleeping on somebody's floor, taking the bus in from Oakland into San Francisco into the hottest restaurant one of the hottest restaurants in the country, and one of them had the biggest names with a new guy, that had all the pressure and the weight of the world, all the killers in the back vying for every position, feeling like you're getting your ass kicked. Dog eat dog. Probably made you into the chef that you 100%. Eventually became.
Trial by fire.
Like how do you take criticism? How do you take all the tough stuff that goes along with being a chef?
Yep.
If you aren't like got some armor on you.
Yeah,
and
for
how
sure.
do you build that?
Yeah.
Well, you don't build it with fluff.
No.
I'm sure.
Welcome to work. Here's your trophy. We're just gonna get that out of the way. Now let's see if we cut some carrots for me, please.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's literally like, this road. It's not an easy one. It's super rewarding.
Yeah.
And very hard to step away from.
Yeah.
After you've been in it so long, because it's like. That pressure is kind of what you feel is holding everything together, like keeping my heart beating and everything. And what's going to happen when it releases? How's that going to feel?
Don't take me there yet, because this is why we brought Carl in, because he's just sold his restaurant, which is one of my favorite restaurants in the city, and one of the best restaurants in the city, which is continuing on with the team.
Where I learned to appreciate vegetables.
With a team
Thank you.
that has been with you since day one. But going back, I want to keep this linear a little bit. So you grew up in San Diego. Went to La Jolla High. Mm-hmm. Okay. What made you want to become a chef? You went and play football. Where'd you play football?
So I played at La Jolla High, and then I went to university. So when I graduated La Jolla High, I was about 175 pounds.
Okay.
Nothing. I quickly learned that through diet and exercise that I could do anything I wanted with my body. It responded. Of course, the age also helps, right?
Yeah. Right.
And so I went from 175 graduating high school as a senior into this Division III football program at University of Redlands. Which is like still I'm stepping into like, these are men now.
Yeah.
They're some of them 300 pounds. They may not be fast enough to play, but it was a very serious program.
Girl, I could sell those people the food that they're obviously eating copious amounts of. You saw the business model in that. That's what it was.
No, this is leading up to. Then so by my sophomore year, I was 250.
Oh wow!
And that was all through eating, right?
Yeah.
And I learned how diet could affect what I ate could affect everything.
Right.
And so I started like cooking for myself. So I would say that's where that kind of started. Fast forward. So I graduated at 250. Fast forward like 3 years, I'm cooking in San Francisco. I'm 175 pounds. Because now my focus is 100% laser focused on not eating it all, but cooking.
Yep.
Tasting.
Cooking and tasting.
And 7 days a week, 15, 16 hours or more.
Yeah.
And so if I show you a picture of then the two side by side, it's crazy looking.
I'll bet.
People thought I was sick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, cortisol too. I mean, you're just when you're that focused
100%.
on anything, you are so deep in a foxhole, that you're like you're just consuming experience.
Right.
That's the only thing you're eating.
I was just drinking it because I got a little later start than most. Some people start, I went to college. I got a business degree.
Mm-hmm.
Some people start their career right out of high school.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm hitting the ground running. That was all part of when I went to CIA. I was fully engaged. I was working at a great restaurant while I'm working there.
Yep.
And then where can I intern? That's going to be ass kicking. Yeah. Aqua. Then continue on and keep.
Do you know you wanted to come back to San Diego? Because if you're
100%. No, I did.
Well,
I did.
and this is interesting to me because look, you went to culinary school. Did you go to Montana? Where'd you go to culinary school?
The CIA in New York.
In New York. You went to Hyde Park.
Right.
Okay. So you went to Hyde Park, one of the best culinary schools, in the country world, and you're getting really serious about food. San Diego wasn't serious about food.
No, I knew I had to leave.
Yeah.
But then I also knew, hey, what a great way to go. I go New York, San Francisco, and then I come back to San Diego with all that.
And I think you knew, and this is kind of where, I've always felt too, is that, you being born and raised in San Diego, I'm born and raised in San Diego, you go out in the world and you get that kind of experience and you're like, I'm going to bring that back here because I think there's a hole. I mean, just selfishly, and like, if I'm going to make it in the world, I have a better chance where there's not CIA Hyde Park type cuisine being done.
Where
How do you make a
everybody
name for
knows
yourself?
your name, right?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
How do you make a name for yourself? Thomas Keller, Bradley Ogden, Michael Mina, the list goes on and on, right? In San Francisco.
For sure. We have sun here. We have farms here. We can do what they do in San Francisco, right?
That's also the weird thing is when I was at the CIA in New York, I was working at a place called La Crémaillère, which was a very traditional French restaurant that was super badass.
Okay.
Super badass.
Yeah.
The chef that I was working for just came back from France. He was 2-star Michelin, all the stuff. And I was working right next to him. And he was literally like, my job was to cook the vegetables to put on his plates. He was cooking all the proteins and pull the plates out.
Yeah.
And you could not fuck around. I was right next to the guy and he was extremely serious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet.
And I learned, really quick, like, be fast. If you don't have your side towels ready to pull those hot plates out of the oven, grab them anyway and deal with it.
Yeah, grab that hot ass thing coming out.
You could have seen my forearms then. It was from there to there, burned. I'd go to school the next day and the chefs would be like, where are you getting this?
Who beat you up?
Yeah.
Are there problems, going on in your life that we need to know about? Are you in prison? Yeah.
If the chef wanted that pan with vegetables in it, and I didn't have a side towel, I'd grab it and hand it to him, and it was right out of the oven.
Deal with the burns.
Yeah, it was. Today I can touch it. I don't need a towel anymore. But
I am the towel. I am the towel. Do you have any feelings in your arms left?
I have I can use my fingertips on anything. The palm of my hand, not so much, but my fingertips, I can go in and I could grab anything.
You can go to the broiler. Just
no problem.
Crazy. I know.
Because I'm still cooking. I don't know, I don't know whether that's permanent.
Yeah.
But like I can't really feel your hand.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's both a skill. I mean, at the end of the day, when I was surfing, when I was young, you have these tender feet as kids, right? You're 15 years old. I mean, your body is still a wonderland. I mean, not old and crinkly like mine now. But back in the day, like the winter time, you would wear booties all winter long to go surf, right? And then the first day that you didn't wear your booties, you go across the tracks at Del Mar because I would surf on 11th Street where rocks, little pebbles going to the tracks down the cliff, and your feet would hurt. I'd be like, oh my God, this is excruciating.
So true.
2 weeks in, you got rough feet. You know what I mean? You basically built your own booties. It was this impenetrable, like...
it's just a side effect of the game. It's like having green hair if you're a swimmer or,
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's it. So you wanted to come back to San Diego and you wanted to do something that, San Diego really hadn't seen so far. Mr. A's, you help open it up. You said you stayed there a year and a half?
I was there like a year and a half.
You got an offer by Marriott, and you take it. Tell me about, once you got in there, and obviously Marriott, again, had not been known for what wasn't, French Laundry. It wasn't the vanguard of the scene. But in that restaurant, Arterra, was where you were followed. Were you followed by Jason Maitland when you left? Was that Jason Maitland?
No, it was Brian Pekarsik.
I brought
him in.
Okay, got it.
I had met him a few times, and I love Brian. He's back in Pittsburgh now. He opened up several restaurants there with another guy.
Okay,
but he was really great too.
What were those days like?
Well, you're taking a guy who's a freestanding restaurant guy who's worked for all these people in intense environments, and plugging them into a Marriott.
Yeah,
how do you think that would go?
Like oil and water?
Yeah,
like a Mentos and a Diet Coke.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But the GM at the time, who understood, he was kind of the guru of Marriott restaurants, high-end restaurants.
Sure.
Plugging them in. And he just happened to be the GM at the time. And that's why he searched me out.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, look, I'm going to protect you.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Yeah.
You can't do anything totally crazy.
Sure.
I crossed that line a few times.
Right, of course.
And I was in HR a lot. Like, you can't say
as
this,
it goes.
you can't, there's training sessions. Like, I learned, you learn as you go, right?
Sure. Any bigger organism that you walk into, especially when you're an independent guy.
But I wasn't doing this for any other reason. It wasn't for health reasons. It was to see a vision there and get it done. In an environment where it's not, it doesn't have bumpers on it. It was just me.
Yeah,
I was the only person driving that at that time when I stepped in the walls, right? Before you build a team, it's just you.
Yeah.
And your vision. And so, we sat in an office for while they were still building it out, they brought me on early. We sat in this office and I'm sitting in there and they're having me interview people. And I'm like, just shitty interviees. I didn't know. And the HR guys
I can
in the
cook,
office,
but I'm real terrible at interviews.
Yeah, the office, because I put people in a kitchen in a setting and I have them do shit and I see how they react to the pressure, to how good are your knife skills, and so you can tell me anything when I'm sitting across from you and I don't believe you.
Yeah,
let's get you in there. So I'm doing these interviews and the HR guy's in the office right next to me in this office building, and after every interview he'd pull me in and he'd go, Carl, look. I gave you a script. I gave you that paper. Just follow it. And I'm like, yeah, but what does any of this have to do with cooking at a high level?
Yeah.
There's not one question here that would make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we needed people. We needed to hire a lot of people. It was breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Sure.
So,
you hand the guy a knife.
I know. So I know. So then when we did a hiring hall and I was just hiring everyone, and we'll just see how the chips fall.
Yeah.
But I got this guy Andrew Ho, who was he was applying for a sushi or a prep position, and I'm like, look, hey, these guys are all from Texas. The ownership is from Texas. They want a raw bar out here at the bar. That it was that big rotunda bar there, the round bar, and it was all slated for shrimp and stuff like that. And I'm like, boring.
Yeah.
This is not going to drive anyone to come here. And
you asked me for a vision. That's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, Andrew, I know you're prep, but your resume here is all sushi.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to be my sushi chef and you're going to stand right. And we're standing in a dust-filled building, construction going on all around us. And I'm like, there's going to be a sushi bar right here. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be my sushi guy.
Yep.
And he's like, okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
And boom. So that was that component. That sushi was hot at the time, and and it was just kind of more on the front end.
And this is so you're opening up Arterra in the Marriott Del Mar in what year was it? 90.
That would have been. Wow.
Well, because
so I opened up Market in 2006. So wind that back 5 years.
Yeah, 1999. I want to say it was just about. Yeah, 2000, something like that.
Yeah, 2000, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. So you're standing in this Dustfield place. The Marriott of all places wants to, just crush it. And be at the vanguard of San Diego's food scene, which it will be in no time. You see the vision, or at least you want to give it a shot because you're weird. And you're like, all right, give it to me. You got a sushi bar in the middle. You launch this thing. Mm-hmm. And how does it do? Does it take forever? Or are you like...
Yeah, it was a slow build. It was a slow build, man. And it was, I would go home just like, fuck, I can't do this in this environment. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. High quality. They wanted high quality at all those levels. And really all I want to do is focus on dinner. But I'm heavily involved in the lunch piece. They're like, hey, look, lunch in Marriott's is never a big thing. It's never going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do us a favor. You're here from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. We want you to go home because Marriott, they're concerned about, all the stuff related to that, like overworking and all that.
Sure.
And I'm like, yeah.
For the first time in your career, you have somebody that gives a shit.
They're trying to put the brakes on me, but I don't even know this. And I'm trying to build my name. So it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, I'm going to be here lunch too.
Give me a room upstairs. And then so I just knew lunch would go. Like, lunch is going to go.
Yeah.
And so I would stay there. I'd work the lunch line. We started out doing like 10 covers for lunch. Then a month later, 20 covers for lunch. Mm-hmm. And then, like 4 months later, we were doing over 100 and then 200. And so lunch was like this huge piece.
Yeah.
That was so successful because we had all those business, it's a big business park basically there. And so that started cranking. And then the dinner piece started cranking. Basically what I do is I'd steal everyone's dinner mise en place and plug it into the line and then work as many dishes as I could myself.
Yep.
Because I just didn't have the skill around me yet.
Yep.
And it just kept building. And the night guys would come in, all their stuff would be gone. They'd be prepping from zero, but I liked it because we're just staying super fresh and rotating product. And then the whole thing just started working. And the GM told me it was the number one grossing Marriott restaurant in the North America chain. So
I remember this. This was, you opened up Market actually a year before I started writing about food. Mm-hmm. But I remember the repute of Arterra that you guys built together. It was, and that stat came up. Was that it's the number one grocery restaurant in the North American chain for Marriott. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm going, and nothing against Marriott. Marriott's a fine, great hotel chain, whatever it was. That wasn't what they were known for.
That wasn't their thing.
It's like you don't go to Vegas for wellness. Okay, maybe you do. Maybe you do. But,
now, maybe.
Yeah, I say now. I think you do. Yeah. All right. So you built this. So when do you want to leave? I mean, you built lunch. You're just cranking by yourself. You're Mickey over the pot of Fantasia, and you're just kind of building this thing out of scratch. It's working for Marriott. Is there some point? I'd imagine at some point they probably said, "Hey,
I'll be honest here.
Yeah,
Steve Pagano left.
Okay,
He was my anchor. He was the GM who supported the vision, and they started bringing corporate guys in.
Mm-hmm.
So, new GM, corporate's kind of sitting me down going, hey, why do you have to buy from all these special farms? We can get better pricing from these guys. So they're starting to tighten the screws to the vision. When I see that, they're changing my vision and the vision that. And
the only reason why you got into this, the only reason why you got into this profession. Okay, now this I think is an important thing to understand if you're a fan of San Diego food. Back then, like we said, there was not that many farm-to-table chefs. No. This was in the late 90s, early. When did Region open up? I forget when it opened up. Stebner opened up Region. But
yeah, that was cool.
It really, back then, this better than I do, so I'm not going to speak for the chef world here. You can. It just seemed like it was you. It was Jeff Jackson. There was, a few others that really were. Trey Fauché, Jason Knibb.
Jason Knibb came on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I still remember when he rolled up to celebrate the craft for the first time. Jason was just took that position down there.
Yeah.
At 9:10.
At 9:10. Yeah.
And man, it was so exciting. It was such an exciting time. We were all close, competitive, but all good guys, And so when the core of really great chefs is small.
Yeah.
You all know each other, and we do events together and stuff like that. And it was really an exciting time.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that was kind of when I came into it too. And it was so exciting, and it was really just starting to take off, so obviously, through Bradley Ogden, through Lark Creek, you fell in love with seasonal cooking, and which will eventually become like the de facto thing that we do. And we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Now you say farm to table, and it's like,
it's old school.
Yeah, I mean, you say it means nothing, which is sad because it did mean something. You had your own name. Yeah. Tom Chino would take some produce and put it on a box with your damn name on it. Right, and then you come every morning or a couple times a week.
I'd go between breakfast and lunch and go pick up our produce, and just like the sky was the limit.
It was straight it was the greatest from the dirt.
Yeah,
dirt
straight
to the
from
table.
the dirt, straight from the dirt. And now there's so many farms.
Yeah,
so many, and even I still think they're the premium product.
Chino Farm. Yeah, I know.
I mean, look at Tom. He's still out in the dirt, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving away, I don't know, number of weeks ago. See Tom out there. It's raining. Tom in his little hat, and he's raking with one arm the soil while I'm driving away. And honestly, I had tears in my eyes just because knowing the love he's put into that land. It's crazy. It's crazy. And they still are the best. There is a massive amount of produce available now that allows you to a lot of possibilities, right, on your menu. And so I partake in that as a chef. It's like you want to open up the palette to all the different colors. And it's San Diego, like, back then versus now. What are we even talking about?
I know. I mean, it's a world. I mean, God, it was like you, Lodge Torrey Pines, and Chili's.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was laughing when you were like, there weren't many farm to table chefs back then. I kind of I was going to make a joke like there still technically really aren't many now if you think about it, because some of them are pulling some things.
I love your point
from farms, and this was Troy's point that I am, to be fair, just regurgitating. But it's like maybe they're pulling a few things for a few dishes, but I think we know the supply chain is still alive and well, right?
It's our finest time. I guess you could say was when specialty produce used to drive that farmers market van. They go up to Santa Monica farmers market and they'd fill that with produce and drive it to all the different restaurants.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so, going back to Lark Creek Inn, Bradley Ogden, walking through the farmers market, we got our big van. We're all in our whites, including Bradley. That was part of the deal. Mm-hmm. That's back in the day when he had like 6 sous chefs. We're trailing behind him like little ducks. And he's walking through the farmer's market saying, get me 30 cases of those tomatoes, 7 cases of the green beans, all through there. And then we're bringing it back, and we're all sitting around a table like this going, what are we going to do tonight? Getting ready to do 350 covers. That, to me, was like the defining moment of this is who I want to be.
I think that's what people think of when they think of farm and table. They think about the chefs sitting around the table with their farm box being like, what are we going to do with this?
It was 100% that, and I'd never seen that. Not even at Aqua, because Aqua was so tightly wound that you couldn't fuck up a dish, to be honest. Yeah. You couldn't. Mm-hmm. But at Lark Creek Inn, it was, attaching to that part of you who remembered Thanksgiving dinner and the best whatever at an elevated level. And that's what I liked. Mm-hmm. I once heard a chef say that, and I really admire this, but it wasn't who I was. She said that I want, when people eat my food, for nothing to be familiar. And how cool is that? That's cool.
I feel that. It's a philosophy.
And as a chef, you're somewhat of an art. You're creating
you can be
an experience, and to do that, I mean, think about how complicated that is.
Yeah,
you want to be singular. Yeah, you don't want to be part of those collective consciousness. Joseph Campbell. You want to be like, I am so rare. I've reached some level that no one even has a reference point,
or I've
for
come
what
up
I'm
with
doing.
something nobody has before,
and a texture and a thing. I mean, when I was reading what she was doing, it was pretty incredible, and I admire that. First blush when I heard her say that, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is stupid. Why would you do that? Because everything in me is trying to attach to, great memories, right?
A warm emotion.
Yeah.
And that I love first tomato you ever tasted out of somebody's garden that you're like, this is a different fucking thing.
That's the avenue I took. Is like, how can I create really at market? How can I create really interesting looking and beautiful dishes, but hide in there something that brings you back, to a memory or thought or a. Can
you give me an example of that? Oh, I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of like your corn dishes.
It's just so ingrained in everything I do. I can't even think of a specific dish where I purposely do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's in my style so deep.
It's in the DNA. Yeah.
It's literally like...
It's like a writing style, how you just construct certain sentences in certain ways and certain words, right? Like you just kind of the way you're putting things together.
The whole menu. Okay, one example. Okay, grapefruit and avocado salad. Mm-hmm. Big fucking deal. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, what we put together there, like the goat cheese, purple haze goat cheese, it's got elements of, lavender and things in it that are different, right? Mm-hmm. It's goat cheese. It's creamy. I like goat cheese.
Yeah.
We roll it in honey sugar, like honey crystals. Mm-hmm. So there's a little crack. They have to go out dry. Mm-hmm. If they sit too long, they don't crack. There's not that element. The segments are cut every day. If the grapefruit that come in aren't good, we're out to Whole Foods. We're out to Jimbo's. We're out to Vaughn's. We're out to Ralph's. And we're taking a knife with us. And we're tasting that. And if it's not right, we're going to find the best. And if it takes like a server that we know is up in Oceanside and we've checked everything around here and it's not there, avocados, grapefruit, they're picking it up for us on their way in. And so that grapefruit salad post-COVID, I wasn't getting anything good. Like, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time to change that.
Yeah.
The hate mail just rolled in on a grapefruit and avocado. Like, we're never coming here again. Let us know when you put that back on. We'll come back. And it's all about product.
Yeah.
And freshness. Like, you could take that, give it to someone, a chef who's not attentive, and they would be serving those. You know what citrus looks like 3 days later?
Yep.
It's void.
It looks
of
like
juice.
Me when I get out of a bath that I've taken for a very long time, and then I fully dry myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for that image. I apologize to everyone. But you get a little pruny and then you get dry. You're like, that doesn't look good.
But that's not what happens there.
I have one of my favorite things though is imagining some poor grocer like, fucking Carl, get your knife out of my produce.
I could see this too because it's one of those deceptively simple things that again is so tied to the quality, which goes right back to the eye that's evaluating it, which is its own skill and its own art and science. But it is one of those things that's so deceptively simple that I would eat that salad. I have eaten that and just been like, well, I can't make this at home. Why is this better? Yeah, like whatever they're doing. And so like for me, like avocado grapefruit would be codified with market. And therefore, so if I would be one of those people where if you took it off, I would be like, you just ruined my fucking life.
And you know what else is like, I can't even make that at home. Mm-hmm. I can't.
I believe it. I actually totally believe
those four walls
I believe it.
And the people in it. Yeah. And the attention from each person, and of course me like looking at it every time it goes out and going, wait, it does take that, but
I believe it.
That it's one of those things.
Well, it's like John Lennon couldn't go back into his bedroom and recreate the Beatles. You know what I mean? It's a living organism. I can't do this without Julie. I can't do this without Jackie. I can't do this without you. Like this is, it takes 4 or 5 different things coming together to create this weird alchemy that kind of fucking works. In your case, really fucking worked.
Yeah. That's why it's so hard
to
like leave that.
I know. Yeah. So let's get in. Well, really quickly, we just explained on this podcast. We ask people when they come in, maybe they want to bring a snack, bring a bite. The reason why we do that is so that you can see their food, we can talk about their food, and say, hey, you should really go try this. Carl sold his restaurant a week ago.
Whoops.
And we still asked him. We're like, hey, can you sneak back into your restaurant and possibly
yours, right?
get
like
some?
That was like me after I left the vaccine and I like came back and I'm like, can I just like go through the fridge?
True.
Right?
And Julia, you're totally fine. That's what we ask you to ask people to do. And so Carl snuck back into his restaurant, being the ultimate food person that you are.
There, so it wasn't such a stretch.
Okay.
I made that.
So tell us what we're eating. This is why I fell in love with Carl's food for so long, because you can taste the farm. There's 4 different farms or 5 different farms in this. It's a gazpacho, but it's not a gazpacho. You know, I mean, it's alive and tastes so much better than, like, say, a blended thing with the kind of fruits and vegetables that you're talking about that hadn't been specifically picked or hadn't been like, that's a great tomato, I'm going to make that into something. It was just, I got a tomato, let's make a gazpacho.
No tomatoes early season. I'm wondering when they're coming around, and they came in late.
Yeah,
they came in late. They needed the heat. And like the grapefruit salad, this is nothing super special. You know what's special about it is the tomatoes were perfect, blended with, serrano chilies, cilantro, lime juice. It just simple stuff, right?
Yep.
Some Fresno chilies, and then just a lot of vegetables put in there. And it's just like, and this is trash tomorrow. I didn't even want to bring this because it's been in there a whole day. So that's what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
It's not, so when I bought Market and decided to open Market, it was like, everything's going to be my way.
Yep.
There's not going to be someone telling me what to do anymore.
Sure, because you just came out of an environment which they gave you license, and then they took the license away, and you felt what that felt like.
Right.
You're like, I'm going to
never again.
And I'm a bit of a guy who is like, okay, well, now I'm going to compete against you. Good luck.
Oh yeah.
So
You're
don't
right
think
down
that
the
didn't
road.
drive me for the first 5 years just on adrenaline from that.
And for
are
anybody,
they still doing lunch up there? Are they still doing covers up there? How are they doing up there? What's their dinner service?
Men are funny. You guys are funny.
Yeah,
we are special creatures.
It was literally like, if you aren't going to let me do what I'm doing here, I'm going to do it somewhere else, and we'll see how it goes.
And by somewhere else, I mean approximately 7 minutes down the road.
Yes.
3 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to badmouth anyone.
No.
They do what but at the same time, that's what drives. Did I tell you
Carl,
I played 8 years of football?
Yeah, a little competitive streak. Carl picks. I mean, well, we'll get to this. It's a good and bad. It's yin and yang, right? What I thought was one of the worst fucking places for restaurants I've ever seen. I'm like, this is in the bottom floor, because I remember when people told me you got to go to Market. Carl Schroeder is one of the best in town. You know what I'm saying? I went there, and the first time I got there, I'm like, this is restaurant in the bottom of this office park, or office building, next to this field. It's not like in the middle of Little Italy.
I'm laughing because you own something in the field now.
North Park. Right, I know. Across from where we did Delmar Wine and Food Festival.
Yeah, good point.
But I'm like, what?
Easy, Troy.
What is this? Why that location?
Because Sammy Ledecky owned it. It was
Sammy's Woodfire Pizza.
It was Prime 10, and then it was Black Horse Grill. All brands under, the Sammy's Woodfire Pizza umbrella. But he was doing these offshoots, right? Rapungi and all these other.
Oh, yeah.
And so he would come in, and he's like, hey, if you ever want to buy a restaurant, talk to me first. Mm-hmm. And so he came in one time, and I was like,
I heard he's a sweet dude.
Depends who you ask. Same with me. I mean, everyone that talks about you says you're sweet. So, but I'm just saying, not everyone.
Not everyone. Yeah.
But he was very good to me in the transition, and obviously the building owner had reservations about a guy who's only been a chef. I wasn't like a restaurant owner. It's a totally different thing.
Can you make rent every month?
My
Do you
dad
know how to run a business? Actually, is what they're wondering. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to? Yeah. Are you going to
make money?
Food costs are going to be 75%.
Yeah. Am I going to pay rent? Am I going to? And we're in a percentage rent situation. They want a very successful operator because that makes them more money.
For sure.
And so I mean, I understand. So, to Sammy's credit, well, first of all, I bought that restaurant with no money. I told him I had the money. I had no money at all. I just left.
Obviously.
I just left Arterra, and I was building this. I only had so much money in the bank.
Look, man, I am on a vendetta to destroy the restaurant.
No. Take it easy. No. But what was I going to do next? The obvious. I got into this business to own my own restaurant, not to be a chef somewhere.
So, this was the opportunity to figure it out.
This was it. I left Arterra. I had no job, and I got in touch with everyone over the years. Anyone that said, "Hey, if you ever do something, let me know." I kept track of all those names and phone numbers, every single one of them.
I am never going to say that to you.
Well, you're safe now because
it's over.
So when I sat at the table with him and all his people, all his executive people, and it was just me on the other side. It was a lot like this, only that whole side was filled up with people,
with very successful business people. Yeah.
Like they knew how to do things.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I was there with who later became one of my close friends and business partners, Steve Pagano, who was the GM at the Marriott.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because no one understood me like Steve.
Yeah.
No one. So he's sitting there next to me, and he knows that I have no money or anything. We're just having this conversation. And then I blurt out, well, I'll pay you X for it. And I have that money. He kicked me under the table. Like I don't know if it was noticeable, but he's like, what the fuck are you doing right now? And I'm like, I need that sort of pressure to fire me up. And I immediately left that meeting, put together this shoddy, crappy business plan, and start calling people. Yep. And I get in front of these like very successful people.
Sure.
Present my business plan. Some of them were like, yeah, whatever, Carl. I'm just investing in you. Here's your check. Others were like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Investors, possibly you.
I'm working off of college knowledge, and you didn't have the internet or any of this AI stuff to put it together. I'm like,
right.
And I have a finite amount in the bank to even print these business plans. And when people are saying, hey, go back to the drawing board on this,
you're like, I can't afford to, but I just told somebody I had a bunch of money. You're going to need to give it to me.
Yes. Sort of like that.
Yeah.
With Tony Hawk, Tony Hawk's one of the original.
I knew that. He's actually secretly one of the biggest restaurateurs in San Diego.
Yeah, I know.
It's
crazy. But I think I want to say Market was his first restaurant.
Was it really?
Oh, no kidding.
I want to say that. Don't quote me on that. But I'm 90,
unofficially,
let's just call it.
At least fine dining.
Yeah.
Pretty much for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, Tony, he's one of those guys that had mentioned if I ever, when I was up at Arterra.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, Tony, why don't you meet me in the space and kind of like, and I tell him that we're going to meet for dinner. And I'm thinking, who's going to pay for this? I have like everything's maxed out. Like, and I parked my car across the street in the Mary's Tack and Feed and ran across. And the valets are like, yeah, you can't park there. And I'm like, yeah, because I couldn't afford
deal with it later.
I couldn't afford to tip the valet. I was going off credit card for dinner, and I had no cash. And so get in there. We have a great dinner. Tony's like, I'm in. Just contact my sister.
You're like, okay, are you in for dinner? Are you in for paying for the bill too?
Yeah, I paid for that with my credit card.
Oh, you did?
You're like, so actually, since you're in, can we just add that to the tally? We're good, right?
And he was like pretty much the last investor that then all of a sudden I have money in the bank and I can start this deal together.
That was the moment. Yeah. That is... Yeah. He is...
I was not sleeping.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I believe it.
You couldn't afford the valet, and you're going in to pitch Tony Hawk on your new restaurant idea, and you have no idea how you're really going to pay for dinner. I mean, you have a credit card.
But I was keeping... My order was very small.
Of course.
It was very light. I'm eating light,
You're like,
I'll have the salad. And,
So the world's shittiest order.
He doesn't know this, by the way.
No way.
Still to this day?
No, I never told him.
I'm going to send this to Tony Hawk.
Breaking news.
Okay, so...
You can't have a plan B, though, right? Like, that's the whole thing.
No.
You will fail if you have a plan B, and you knew that.
It was so nice to have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start taking people's money, you get real serious real quick. Because especially for a guy like me, like, reputation is everything. So when I'm in charge of that,
I'm sure.
it's like, okay, it really got real at that moment. Yeah. And like, how am I gonna? There was so much, like the whole business side of things. I'm not just going in
contractors and licensing and employment attorneys and health insurance, whatever it may be.
That's when I started bringing like Steve Pagano in, and Terrell helped me with some of the front of the house piece and the maneuvering of all that. And they were very critical in the early phases of that. And then after that, it was just, me and my wife grinding at it. And Brandy has been like a soldier.
Your wife, Brandy.
Yeah. And like we were saying before, it's just like 24/7 talking about how are we going to make this work? What's the strategy here? Hey, last month wasn't great. How do we turn that around this coming month? What do we have on the books? Employees, everything. She does everything back there.
I want to go back really quickly. So you open up, you find you get enough money to actually do this. You have a name at this point. You'd built something really special, at Arterra, and you obviously had somewhat of a pedigree, with Ogden, so people really believe in you. You're from San Diego, which also helps. We're provincial people. Yeah. It's like, hey, look, you're a local guy. Absolutely, I would like to invest in a local person, not have outside chefs and money and everything else.
And also, like you said, how many great restaurants were there? You could stumble a little bit in those days, and you could still bring it back in line.
That's really true.
Yeah,
that's really true. You did have the grace of being one of the only games in town.
I don't think about that all the time.
Right. Yeah. And so, but you open up this. You come from where you're with Ogden, and you go to the farmer's market, and you stab a bunch of fruit, and you bring it back on a table, and you decide what you're going to make for dinner that night. That's the extreme farm to table, right? And you open up market with this idea. Does it hit right away? Does it? I mean, I'm sure Tony's got a lot of friends. I'm sure that your investors have a lot of friends that they can fill it for.
It did not hit right away.
Interesting.
It did not hit right away.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that were my guests up at Arterra that came down, they're like, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. They didn't know what I was trying to work through, like the business, the food side of things, but I knew like, okay, like let's break it down. What is a restaurant? What brings you back to a restaurant? What is it?
For me, it's a way. Honestly, the food and the way it makes me feel.
Right.
Like it's for me. It's always two. It's the ambiance. Do I feel like I'm not? I don't. Otherwise, I'll eat in my fucking kitchen.
Exactly. There's always got to be a vibe.
There's got to be a vibe.
Even if I like the food, and I could be in the mood for a certain dish, but if I'm looking for a certain experience, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Always, kind of. So I get that.
Yeah. And particularly today, right, with all these super expensive build outs and stuff like that. For sure. So that's another point in that it was a luxury to be afforded to make mistakes early on. I don't know that if we did that exact same thing today, whether it would have come together like it did.
Sure.
However, we just kept grinding, and I just stayed in the kitchen because what I always think about is food and service, right? Back then it was just food and service. Like, how difficult could that be? I can cook, and we'll get some good servers in here, and we'll focus on those two things because that'll keep people coming back. So as we're making mistakes and figuring out business and all this other shit, that will be in place. And people will come back for that. It's like, what, can you have a car lot with shitty cars on it and be a great,
exactly,
have a great business? Probably not. So that if you break it down to
the definition of the hole, not the hole in the wall, because you obviously have it's a high end restaurant, that has investors behind it, but that's kind of the definition of a hole in the wall, right? You go somewhere, you're like, the ambiance, okay, but the food, holy shit, and that
sustained us.
That guy, that woman, that person that made me feel something and made me feel special, and not in a servile way,
in a way that you feel
in a way that
taken
made
care
me feel
of, right?
hospitalized.
It took, before I was proud of what we were doing there, it took, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, okay,
now we got it.
Boom, let's go.
What was the turning corner for you, just in terms of business? Or was it just slow word of mouth? Like, holy shit.
So we almost went out of business the first 6 months. I raised a certain amount of capital.
Sure.
Most of that capital went into buying the business.
Yeah.
Operating capital is important.
Turns out.
But who would think about that when you're a chef and you just want to get in there and
corn ain't free.
I'll just cook.
People pay for things, and then the cash will be there. And we'll draw from that bank.
No, we were going to miss payroll the 6th month, and my dad stepped in and said, "Hey, look, if you need enough to cover payroll," and then right after that, it clicked.
Got it.
Paid him back in like 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Or 3 weeks, and it was just like, whoa.
Yep.
Okay. Now that I feel the momentum,
that's
we're
the
firing.
motivator again.
We're gonna go so hard, and we did.
Got it.
Yeah, and that first like, I don't know, probably 10-year run was just like, I mean, it's crazy, so fun.
So that first, the
intensity, the everything, and again, like, I always wanted that intensity. Like, if cooks weren't bickering over things, I was like,
I know what you mean.
how can I get them to
bicker more?
I seek that out in my own career and with like some of the journalism work I've done, and like the things that were always the most fun to me were some of the higher stakes things where like honestly I got kind of abused in the process. Like,
I mean,
like some of the investigative stories I've done. So like I actually completely
you want a little
relate
bit
to
of friction. You can't have a fire without friction.
Yeah,
and it's like that vision. Like, how do you get to where you want to go? It's got to be held together with some pressure. I'm old school.
Yeah.
It's time for me to step away. Yeah. And over my career, I've really like changed as a person, obviously. Like,
I heard about you in the beginning. Everybody's like, "Oh, Carl's a pan thrower." You know,
I black out before that happens. So I
believe that. I'm the same.
So yeah, no.
I would have been crazy as a chef. I feel
there's a lot of,
I get it.
There, and none of it was because like selfish.
Right.
I wouldn't say. I would say there was like, there's some collateral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some pursuit of greatness here.
It was like, hey, we aren't doing that. We're like, we got to pull this together.
Yep.
My life is this. What are you doing putting that shitty grapefruit on that salad?
Yep. Right.
I told you, this is the 5th time I told you.
I barely covered payroll.
Right.
Yes. Grapefruit is not going to cover my payroll.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I slept 3 hours the last week.
Yeah.
So like, not forgivable, I guess, but at the same time,
we don't excuse behavior that we've all done.
I was going to say newsrooms were the same way as kitchens.
For sure.
Just times have changed.
It was intense, and the people that hung around, the guys that are still with me today, which, like, how many kitchens can you say there's guys that are still in that kitchen? Like 4 of them that have been there for 125, 120, 117, and 115.
25 years. That goes back to Arterra.
Yes.
That goes back
to my expediter. That's my expediter.
No way.
Steve Slimek, Johnny Thompson, who's going to be the chef, and he's the chef now.
Yep.
Nicholas Martinez, and Jimmy Lee Garcia.
Yeah.
Did I miss anyone there?
I think it was 4.
Yeah. 4.
Yeah.
Did I get 4?
Yeah, you got 4.
I always miss.
Hey,
someone.
look, man, that's nothing personal. That's just like, okay, I got a lot of names to remember, and I got a lot of shit going on in my head.
Those guys, like, that's what's hard to step away from. That.
Oh, of course.
They're a machine. And it's like, just, as I back away, I look at them cooking, and I'm like, really?
Yeah. I know. And it's you. I mean, well, they've been with you 25 years, I mean, they've been, it's not you 20 years ago, they've seen it. But I know when I got the news that you were selling, or, when Taylor or somebody sent me the release, and I was like, why isn't Carl calling me personally? I'm a little upset. But I was like,
yeah, but I will say, when I did talk to Taylor, so this had to all be done through the new ownership.
Sure.
And I did tell Taylor, hey, make sure the first person you reach out to is Troy.
I love you. Thank you.
Well, everyone knows that you help create and really promote what's going on here now. And what's going on here now was not going on here 10 years ago. And you've been in this scene making it happen.
I was just as obsessive about like telling the stories as you were about telling the stories of produce through your food. Yeah. Your cooking is my writing. You know what I mean? Like that's that, I guess. 100%. And let's all get in together and let's tell some fucking stories. You cook it, I'll tell a story. Let's all go.
Man, you were that guy. You were that guy, and everyone knows it in this town. And
Thank you, brother.
I truly believe the landscape wouldn't be what it is today without you being.
I appreciate that so much, man.
I believe that.
Thank you. So when we called each other and you said you were selling, you were like, I'm doing it because I think it's your guys, that crew. Market's not done.
No.
I mean,
it's exciting.
I can't believe that Carl Schroeder is leaving Market because you never left Market. You slept there. You have. I mean, I thought you were going to be buried there one day.
Yeah, I did too.
Right.
I really did.
Yeah. And so
it's a much happier ending, actually.
I know.
But I thought there was something really heroic about having stayed there to the point where I couldn't be there anymore.
Yeah.
Medically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
because you built it, but obviously there's a whole crew and the crew that you're enabling now to have that kind of opportunity that you had before.
That was one of the biggest things for me is like going to bed at night, thinking about food and then thinking about my guys. Like, where's the opportunity for them in this? They've stayed with me. They could be chefs anywhere.
Yeah.
They're that good.
Yeah.
And what kind of kept everyone together was we were there as a family. Sounds like so corny, but like
family is corny.
Truly was
like true family is corny.
Yeah. And so to have those guys have the opportunity to now, so the new ownership is putting a lot of money into the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen immediately, but it will happen. And the vision is beautiful.
And this is what you explained to me that they saw the new owners, longtime regulars. And correct me if I'm wrong. Longtime regulars love what you did, love the vision, love the team, loved everything about it. That's important. To have
important.
They've sat in that room, they've seen what it is, they know what it is in their bones, and they want to continue carrying it on.
Right.
And they wanted to invest money that that very few people have.
Yeah.
In order,
I didn't have it.
Right.
and looking forward, like how much longer can I go?
Yeah, for sure.
How much longer can I be super effective like I am right now?
You are ripped. You're one of the best.
I'm really skinny right now because of racing season.
I
don't eat during race.
You're like a fireman pinup calendar meets a chef.
Oh, wow.
And even then, it's hard on the body. Isn't it? How hard is cooking and chefing on the body?
It is. It's extremely hard.
Yeah.
And I used to think, when I was at Aqua and I'd be running up the stairs, that was the first time where I had really worked the number of hours back to back to back.
Yeah.
Right? And running up the stairs, there's a basement that you kind of prep in and then you bring stuff up and my feet, like after those long
swollen
days, they were just hurting. So,
yeah.
And I'm like, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I would pound on the stairs as I was going up.
Yeah.
And after, like you were talking about your surfing and walking across the rocks, after a certain period of time, my feet were good to go.
Your body just got to give, this is what we're in.
That's a young man's mentality, right?
Yeah.
So now when I get hurt, I stay hurt.
I know.
And
that's the problem with aging, isn't it?
It really kind of makes you, you feel invincible, like I can do anything. And then all of a sudden, damn, like this is real.
I sneezed wrong.
What old people talk about is going to happen to me.
I know.
I thought I was going to avoid all that.
I thought I was going to avoid it too. So to be clear for everybody at home is you've now sold it. You've handed over the keys. New owners are investing in it over time. They've agreed to hold the vision. They've agreed to invest in your family, your crew, who all those guys are staying on. So, obviously you are massive. That's your heart and soul that you put into that thing, but I'd imagine you feel now that it's going to be the same market because you guys have worked together.
I do. I mean, as long as that crew stays together.
Yep.
It's, how many kitchens have that many great cooks in it? It's such a transient thing now.
Yep.
And so to have this bonded crew stay on, that all have each other's backs, that all know how to cook at a super high level.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, normally you'll have one, maybe two of those guys in a,
Sure. And then they move on. They do something else. They do their own restaurant. They do something else.
Yeah, but these guys, they can do it, and they will do it. Because they'll die trying.
For sure.
and so when you have that kind of commitment, it's like I have no worry about that. And the vision is exciting. You know, people have wanted sushi throughout the restaurant.
Yeah.
Barrett is his name, and Monica is his wife. They have a vision to put a sushi bar across the back of the
nice.
lounge.
Okay.
And so that would service like.
And you're going to get rid of the restroom. It's going to be.
They're talking about doing that. And,
okay.
You know, this is all down the road because it takes permitting and all that stuff. And they bought it while it's operating. So there's not going to be any like immediate crazy changes.
Sure.
There's going to be some upgrades all over the place.
Yeah.
Little things like sound systems and glassware and plateware and stuff like that. It's super exciting. And when he starts talking about it with Johnny, it's like, oh, dang it.
That was that was the market. I was the money I needed to do the thing that I wanted to do too.
But
yeah.
You know, it's the right time for this to happen, and it was totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Totally out of the blue. And you know, when I went home with the thought of it, I couldn't come up with any reason not to do it.
Yeah.
Truly in the end. Yeah.
So questions for you I got, and then we'll wrap it up. What are you going to do now? What's next?
Yeah, I'm going to sit for a minute.
Are you going to really though?
Spend some time with people. You got to understand, like, I've missed everything.
Yeah.
Can you stop though? Are you able to? I guess maybe that's my question.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to find out once I'm rested what happens. But right now I have zero plans. I want to leave it that way.
Cool.
And then we'll just kind of take it from there. You know, I'll always be like available to those guys.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to be a free consultant.
So what I worry about though is someone calls in sick, someone that, you know, I'm going to be getting called, hey, can you come down here and work garde manger or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
And what I'm worried about is you're going to say yes.
That stuff is real. That's happening to my dad right now. My dad recently retired, and he's been at the same place, the head of it, for like 40 years.
So
same thing. So they call him back in, and he's like, "Whoa, what do I got to do?" And he loves it so much.
It's kind of fun.
So 6 months from now, go to market to see everybody's favorite longtime prep cook, Carl Schroeder.
Yeah. It'll just be cameo though.
That's it.
But I really do believe it'll continue on with great things to come.
And you said, I mean, look, family. Like we talked about it beforehand, right before the show. You know, I mean, my family's, my daughter's missed out on things. We took over this media company 3.5 years ago, 21-hour days. You know, I mean, some things are going to get missed. Yes. Some family moments, some kid moments, some wife moments. Luckily, my wife works with me. Yours does too. You know, things are going to get missed. Now you can kind of take a little bit of a step back and I
don't know what Brandy and I are going to talk about anymore, though. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Right, you're going to have to find some hobbies. Get on those hobbies, kid.
Yeah, I know.
That's exciting.
Just like we were saying before, it's like, you know, just date nights. We're like, okay, we aren't going to talk about any restaurant stuff. No restaurant
never
stuff.
Fucking works.
We'll go like the first 10, maybe 15 minutes. Like making small. So reading any good books lately. So weather's beautiful. And then it's right back into it.
What are we going to do about the plumbing over on Station 7? Yeah, there's a drip.
No, seriously. Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad that I don't have to think about all the moving parts anymore because they're all running in my head. Refrigeration, electrical, you know.
Now you're just bragging in front of Troy.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, this feels personal. Yeah. You know what? You're gonna wake up though. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the night, cold sweat, you know, and it's just gonna be like with that old dream of you still being back in high school and you forgot you didn't make that one test and you didn't graduate. You know, you're gonna be like, the carrots, they didn't come. The carrots didn't come.
And now there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's kind of the beautiful thing.
I know. And then you can go back. You can go back to sleep.
You graduated, right?
We'll see. It's gonna be weird getting. So when I was putting that market deal together, I was getting 8 hours of sleep because it was like office hours.
Sure.
And like I started thinking clearly, and I started like my vocabulary got better,
like,
and I was much more thoughtful and kind, and all this stuff. And I'm like, like I gotta get this thing rolling because this feels good.
Yeah,
feels too normal.
Yeah, this feels good. It's not what I know. I don't want to feel this way and then have to go into that what I have to be to get it done.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah,
and you can't be that guy. You can't be soft. And so, yeah.
You got it done.
Right, we'll
kid.
see what happens.
You got it done.
We'll see if my vocabulary comes. We'll see if I went a little too far.
Yeah.
Or whether that's still available to me with some sleep and.
Well, Carl Schroeder, newly slept, and well vocabularied.
He's fresh to the world.
Fresh to the world. A brand new Carl Schroeder. I just want to say this, man. You created something fucking amazing. You created one of the more the house that really helped define the new modern era that we're now starting to live in. Now we got Cali. Now we've got a bunch of other great restaurants that are coming in.
So many good restaurants.
It's true. It all traces back to Market. Genuinely an icon.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, there was like 20.
Really
there was only a handful of places, and
so you don't hear any of this stuff.
Sure.
So like, you know what this has been like? It's been like I died.
Yeah.
And I went to my own funeral, and there's everyone sending me all these nice notes and stuff. It's so weird.
I believe it.
It's because
so
you've been
profound.
so head down for so long.
I didn't even know that people really cared that much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean,
We've been talking about you like this forever, by the way.
You're only as good as that last plate of food that leaves, and I've always known that. And so to get comfortable after a great night, and you're always trying to, you're kind of touching what you think is close to greatness with your food, but it all starts over the next day.
It's
and then
true
with
in that
every
moment.
plate that leaves, and it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Now
because
that's
then you
not
can have
true.
a bad plate of food, and you're like, oh, now I'm a piece of shit again. You know what I mean?
I mean, and it's wild.
It's a different story now. Now it's the sum of everything, which is you can rest on that.
I never thought that I would feel like that. It's interesting.
And for the sake of
thank you for letting me come on and tell my story.
Carl hates doing media. And I feel,
believe it.
I feel
Why would you
very
like it?
honored that you came in on one of the biggest phases of your life.
Well, I talked to Brandy, my wife, and I'm like, should I do it? She's like, just do it.
Yeah, go
Just
talk
do it,
about
man.
I should just
Talking
do it.
about
I
it is
love
good for the
Troy,
soul.
That's it,
and
man.
it's a good way to wrap it up.
We've been
Tell
through
my
some
story.
shit together.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. So Carl Schroeder stepping out of Market, but Market itself, the crew, the team, the vision, the philosophy, everything else stays the same, takes its new evolution, and you better learn how to make that grapefruit salad at home for Brandy's sake. I will be calling Brandy just to make sure that you've learned how to identify the proper grapefruit and to get that dry honey crystal on that goat cheese. All right.
The care I put into food at the restaurant compared to what I do at home, it's like chicken breast is the best way. Here you guys go.
Here's some bitchin' sauce and some
mainly
vegetables.
Brandy cooks.
All right, there we go.
So, yeah.
All right, so next up, $50.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Have you eaten anything? Have I eaten anything?
I ate something.
Okay.
I kind of discovered a new pizza place, which is always fun.
Actually, and how long am I going to call it to be $50, Julia? It's called Get Some.
Oh,
these
shit,
these
that's
are our
right.
favorite
I keep
restaurants.
forgetting.
Just places we've been eating, something we discovered, someplace like where do you go to eat when?
Okay, so I don't want to encourage this because I don't want it to fall apart for me. Okay,
I know.
but
Blow
I'll
up your
tell
spot.
you, but since it's just me and you and we're talking,
Yes,
to the side.
absolutely. Yep.
So my wife and I go to El Pescador, and then I look through the glass case and I find the fish I want.
Yep.
And I say, cut me off 2 pounds of that.
Yep.
I want it grilled. Leave it slightly undercooked. Just salt and pepper, and then I order a ton of different sides.
Yeah.
Tortillas, and we just feast on that. Usually, I'll get the Dungeness crab with some melted butter on it. I'll tell them to put that on top of the fish, and then we just.
El Pescador is like San Diego classic. Do you know we actually had the owners of En Fuego on John Wingate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had John Wingate on, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he was talking about, I was starting to look into the origination of En Fuego and how it was a pueblo a long, long time ago. But it's also the first location of El Pescador.
Yeah, it was. And he
did shrimp cocktails and lemonade. Yeah.
Told me all about how that transpired. Like, it's a crazy story. Like all our stories, right?
Yeah.
When you're building from nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to, as a kid, I'd go spearfishing, and then I'd go up and get a fish sandwich at their old location, which was across the street when it was just a tiny little place, and there'd be a line out the door and just surfers like grilling stuff up.
That was it.
It was like one of those places that kind of like Market just sort of kept progressing and kept getting better and then they jumped across the street because for obvious reasons. They couldn't accommodate magnitude.
Exactly. I mean, when you get in fresh fish and they're just doing something simple and beautiful to it.
Simple.
This gazpacho. That fish.
Simple.
That's it. Yeah, get a good ingredient and treat it right. Well,
that's me. All my best memories of food are of something very, very simple.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Always. Yeah. It's that ratatouille. Okay.
I don't know if this is the best choice, and I probably could have looked back, but we're here. So I live in the eastern reaches of the city of San Diego, and I'm always really delighted when I can discover decent food that I don't have to drive very far to get, to be perfectly honest. So this probably isn't surprising to most people, but Del Cerro's Naughty Barrel, which just opened up another pub in North County. I don't know when they opened this, but like 3 stores down in that in that shopping center in Del Cerro where they have Naughty Barrel, they opened Del Cerro Pizza and Beer. And I just got lured in simply by Google, like literally Googling pizza near me and just seeing what was out there that I just hadn't magically tried yet because I've tried everything. And I was like, all right, let's try it. It has good reviews. Let's do it. Honestly, it fucking rocks. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Had like a Mike's Hot Honey, with the cup pepperoni and really good cheese, good crust, good flour, the whole 9 yards, good barbecue chicken pizza, like kind of like a step up from California Pizza Kitchen. And I mean that in the best way, if that makes sense.
I was the best busboy at California Pizza Kitchen in Carmel Mountain Ranch in 1991.
I would have given anything to experience that.
I still have that certificate. Absolutely.
I would have given anything.
On your wall
Truly would have given anything.
I'm going to put it in.
But Del Cerro Pizza and Beer. I didn't do the beer part, but the pizza's great.
Okay. All right. 2 places that are kind of in the spirit of, well, actually one of them is brand new, but in the spirit of restaurants that have done some things in San Diego and made a good mark. Karen Krasny is coming on is doing Delmar Wine and Food with us. She's doing a couple different things, and I did a TV hit with her yesterday, and holy shit, man! I had her blueberry cheesecake. Oh God,
their stuff is killer.
It is so good. Yeah. It is so good because she gives a shit about food. Karen Krasny, Extraordinary Desserts. You go in any one of her places. They're obviously art. That was kind of how she won the dessert game in San Diego. Was that she made things that were pieces of art. They were beautiful, but she also really cares about like really good food. So the ingredients. It's great. It's so good. That blueberry cheesecake has got to be one of my favorite things in the world. And she also had like creme brulee. Oh, it was almost like a grown-up gruyere, but it was also phenomenal. And then another one I want to call out. Go to 3131. Go to Drew Deckman. Drew Deckman started out. He's obviously got 2 Michelin stars out of Baja. He took over a location in North Park, and this location was Hoxton Manor before that. It is one of the hardest locations I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just a sliver. But he changed his menu not too long ago. When he first started out, he was doing a little bit more of a delicate chef's counter tasting, like seafood forward place. He's roughing it up a little bit. He's making it more family style. He changed it up. His food, I just had it at an event. I'm starting to salivate. I just had a ceviche at an event that I was at in LA for a fundraiser for social justice thing, and it was the best thing at the party. Once again, you want a great meal, go find Deckman. It's a different thing than when he first started it. And I think it was ambitious in a Deckman way. And then maybe it didn't work out quite the way he wanted. He adjusted on the fly, and this is one of the best damn chefs that we have in the city and in the mega region of Baja, who is now doing something a little more on the fly, the way that it was down at Deckman's, the way it is down at Deckman's, when he's just kind of...
I've heard good things.
Oh, God, he's so good. 3131, Drew Deckman, go check it out. That is our show for the day. Thank you so much for, Carl. Dude, go lay in a pool.
My honor.
Go float,
Thanks
man.
For
Thank you so much.
Means a lot.
Carl Schroeder is exiting only temporarily because I have no doubt once he gets the proper R&R and once he really gets to enjoy the afterglow of 20 years of great damn work, he will be back with another restaurant. And we'll tell you all about the news. See you guys.